Well, good afternoon YouTube. Welcome back to my Woodturning Lives. So my name's Dan, and today basically we've got a nice little chunk here basically. And as you can see basically it's not a huge piece, and I think this is dieback ash. So I can tell that from just the staining obviously in some of the wood here basically. So but if you are new to my Woodturning Lives, I can say I've been woodturning for 18 months, and basically I'm just jumping on as a demonstration about what I've learned over the last 18 months. But this is 21 inches in diameter, and it is quite a chunky piece, so, and 11 inches in width, so it's quite square in a sense really, but it's still a piece of end grain basically. Piece of end grain dieback ash. Now dieback ash, you tend to get a lot of it here in Wales, and yes, I can say it's one of my favourite types of timber to turn because it has quite a different colour palette than standard ash. So but I was on this morning, and I did turn a beautiful piece of spalted beech. So but yeah, it's another one of my favourite types of timber to turn. So but yeah, as I can say, if you are interested in woodturning, like to see how things are made, yeah, don't forget to support the channel. You see it is free, and hopefully it's we can turn this into another little practical little piece. But yeah, I think with every piece that I put on the lathe, it's always a lesson, And but yeah, if you are interested in woodturning, or you want to get into woodturning, I say try and speak to a what we call an RPT, a registered personal tutor, and they can show you the dynamics, the basics, the stuff really which kind of is really important about getting into woodturning. But what's most important about woodturning is keeping yourself safe and ensuring that basically you don't have any accidents. So but yeah, as you can say, I'm going to get the lathe on. I am using a Rapid Power Corner Herald, and I'm going to take one of my tools in my arsenal, which is a 1/2 inch bowl gouge, and we're going to use this today basically to try and clean this up. I'm very mindful of this chainsaw mark here basically, which I'm going to try and bypass, and hopefully we can try and clean this up, knock off these edges, and this is how I used to start woodturning. I used to basically just chop it in half and put it straight on the lathe, and sometimes it's easier when you chop the corners off. But with the 1/2 inch bowl gouge, you can quite easily remove those corners very quickly. I was going to say, so if anybody's got any questions, fire away in the comments, and yeah, I'll try and help out as many people as I can. I did get trolled this morning, unfortunately, on Woodturning Live, but does happen. But we're going to try and gradually speed up now, okay? I was going to say, so yeah, we've got a good idea or a good indication what the timber's going to do. We're probably going to go up to about 400 revs there basically, and but yeah, we're going to start cleaning this up. We've got 123 people in the room already, 150 people in the room. Welcome everybody. Now with most types of ash, especially dieback ash, it's very hard. It is a British hardwood. As you can see, I'm cutting on one area and not the other. Okay, it's only cutting on one side, so it's obviously more pronounced here than obviously on the other side. So we'll get round to that now. We'll get round to it. So and hopefully I'm going to have to take off a tiny bit here. I'm going to have to remove about 1/8 of an inch here just to get rid of this chainsaw mark basically. This is how the wood arrived. So we're going to clean this up, take off these edges. It's going to go oval, then we're going to go round. Okay, so but yeah, I started on traditional tools. Well, traditional tools, couldn't get the technique, understand the tool placement, so I went back to carbide, and I went from carbide back to traditional again. So now I use both. Traditional tools and carbide, because I think they do have their room there, their space in the workshop. So but if anybody's got any questions, fire away into the comments. I'd like to have a bit of a chat while we're going. We're going to keep speeding up. Okay, 490 revs. Okay, 490, and we've got 253 people in the room. Welcome everybody. What am I trying to achieve? Very good question. Thank you for your question. What's your name now? Fakey. Fakey. Right, as I say, a lot of stuff I like to make on the lathe is practical stuff. We turned a piece this morning, and this is basically a piece of spalted beech. So you can always tell if it's spalted because it has these different colour variations running through the piece. And but yeah, that's a little practical platter, okay? 8 by 2, okay? But then a lot of the stuff I tend to make is stuff like this big, okay? A 10" by 4" spalted ash bowl. And this took a lot of hollowing, and it took me around about an hour and a half to make it. So it's rather a big piece, yeah, I was going to say, it's, have you ever had that tool get caught in the machine? Right at the very beginning, yes, I did. Very good question. And what happened basically, the banjo was over here, okay? Tool rest was too far away from the piece, and as it span, it caught the gouge basically. And what it does, it can yank your shoulder. And I did hurt my shoulder, and it took probably about 3 months off the lathe. So so we always want to ensure basically we're as close to the piece as possible, so we don't get any catches where it's got room to catch it. So we want to let it spin, okay? We're going to let it spin and just gradually let the tool actually cut it. It's called a bowl gouge, okay? You can see here this profile on the end. It's very, very sharp. And we've got one on that side, and we've got one on the other side as well. So we just want to ensure that when we're actually wood turning, to support the gouge, okay, here, okay, in your hip. So if it does actually throw you, it's got to throw your body weight, okay, and not like this, okay, because that's when it can have your shoulder. Let's go. Exactly. Let's go. Right, let me just stop there 1 second because I've got that chainsaw mark, haven't I? And I just want to ensure I'm getting past it. We're actually on it. Okay, we're actually on it now. Trying to remove as much timber around it so we end up with that nice, smooth finish, basically. But yeah, I was going to say, it's with wood turning, it's just one of those things, really. I've been on YouTube for about 9 weeks. I'm in week 9 now, and I've just hit over nearly 3,500 subscribers, which is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. When I first jumped on YouTube, I don't think I'd hit 50 subscribers, let alone 3,000. So, but if you want to support my journey, I was going to say, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to drop me a like if you enjoy what you see or you want to see more. Helps the algorithm thing, whatever that is, okay? This is exactly like using a lathe machine. It is. You can say, because you obviously got metal lathes, which are good for bolts and that kind of stuff, really, and threads. But wood lathes, typically for turning pieces of timber. British ash is a native wood for us here in Wales, and yeah, very hard. It's one of our hardwoods, so but it looks really, really pretty once it's actually turned. So, but yeah, we're going to crack on. We're going to try and get around this. Okay, I'm going to take these edges off here. See these, not flat edge there, but one here. There. So we'll take those off as we go around now. Not too bothered about tool marks at the moment because we will clean those up, okay? a second, have a quick shufty, quick look. You can tell with dieback ash, it's got these different colour variations going on in it. Ash just tends to be one colour, but the grain patterns can be quite intricate, quite, yeah, very, very pretty, very pretty. Let me just check that. Give me 1 second. Could put the jockey down somewhere, but here's it on somewhere. I think when you work in a workshop, things just tend to take forever to find because everything's covered in sawdust. But I don't mind. It's like living in a hamster cage. So let me just catch your comment there before it disappears. I would like to learn how to do this. What are the steps to do in that? Basically, if you've got a wood turner in your area, go and have a chat first. Just go and have a chat first and have a discussion about the kind of things you want to turn. Because we can don't just turn bowls on a lathe, we can turn pens, rings, platters, vases, that kind of thing, very decorative items. Yeah, but I like to turn bowls. I really like to turn bowls. As you can see, it's going oval at the moment. Okay, it's going from this oval shape. So eventually, once we go from oval, we'll take these sides out, and then basically it'll go round. Okay, we'll take it round. But at the top here is the headstock. Okay, this is where a lot of the mechanics are. Here, I've got a control panel. Okay, you can see here, emergency stop button for obvious things. Speed up, slow it down, run it towards me, which is basically the way it should be running. And yeah, we can also run it in reverse, so it's going away from me. But we don't tend to use reverse much because you really can't even need it spinning towards you. We use reverse for things like sanding, etc. So, but yeah, it's one of those types of skills really. Just ask yourself first, what do you want to get into? What is the type of thing you want to learn how to turn? Is it bowls? Is it platters? Is it pens? That kind of thing. And that'll give you a good indication, a good idea of what kind of lathe you need or what lathe you'd like to get started on. I didn't start off on this big lathe. Okay, started off on a mini lathe, which is, excuse the mess. See that lathe over there? This little mini lathe here. Good for little things like trinket cups, small little cups, small pieces. But obviously I wanted to make bigger stuff, so I needed a bigger lathe. So it's but yeah, I think with any lathe, you know, start small, start something little, and then it's understanding it's not just your lathe you need, tools, okay, and you also need try and get a lesson. You know, a lesson is always good. It'll give you an understanding of tool placement, technique, that kind of thing, really, and just have a little go really, and see if you enjoy it before going out there and spending that amount of money. We may speed up, okay, because faster it's spinning, okay, the cleaner the cuts I'll make on the piece, okay. It just depends on, because at the moment I'm running at 480. We can get over 1,000, and that's when it's really packing some speed. So we don't want to ever start the lathe off on the highest speed, because you just want to see how the piece is going to behave actually on the lathe before starting. So you start slow, build up speed, okay? Build up speed. And just take your time, really. Take your time. Your safety is the most important thing when we're turning. If that comes off the lathe speed, you go into hospital. 600 revs, okay? 600. Now the reason I stop and start the lathe is to keep an eye on the piece. It's to keep an eye on where I'm cutting, okay, and where I need to make the cuts. Now, as you can see, we've removed that, what's it called, the chainsaw mark, I suppose, the cut into it. So we've removed that already, and we're still oval, but we're going round, okay, we're going round. So you see these tool marks. I don't know if that's evident really on the screen, but I'll use a different gouge for removing these marks. You can see I've got quite a few of them, but they've all got different profiles, different bevels on them, etc., for different cuts. So one thing I'm being very mindful of, there's one screw there and it looks a tad loose. So, as I said, look after the safety. Put Chucky down somewhere. Put it over here. I'll find it in a minute. Oh. But yeah, if anybody wants to support my journey on YouTube, you can say it's very welcome to do so. And yeah, it's all really appreciated. Really appreciated. And yeah, I've been on YouTube just over a couple of months. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to swap over to a 3/8 bowl gouge, okay? This is a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. You can tell this is the flute, okay? The metal bit, the flute. So, one's a lot smaller than the other, okay? Say it's this one's got a much smaller flute on it, but the profile is nearly the same, okay? Nearly the same. So what this one's good for is actually cleaning up. So I don't want to remove lots and lots of material. Okay, I don't want to remove loads and loads of material. What I want to do now is, because you've got pull cuts, okay, come towards me, shear cut, yeah. And if I work away from me, is a push cut, okay, push cut. And the push cuts is what took me time to understand. It's all about tool placement, okay, it's all about tool placement. And yeah, sometimes it'll be a little tad tricky, but yeah, we're gonna crack on basically. And in fact, before I do, I'm gonna lock that so it won't spin now. Okay, just gonna take that off the chuck a minute. At the moment, it's been held on with this. Okay, it's got a face plate. Okay, and one of these screws is a little tad loose. So, for my own safety, okay, I'm going to re-tighten that up, okay, just to ensure it's not going anywhere. But now I need to figure out which one it was. So this is that one. Okay. This one here. Getting used to it. If anything seems like it's coming loose, stop. You stop and you secure it, okay? Because the last thing you want on earth is anything coming off the lathe, okay? Never ever let anything come off the lathe, not unless you're removing it, okay? That is the most important tip I can give somebody. It's too dangerous. It's far too dangerous to be taking risks like that. So unlock it, check it, triple check it. Right, okay, I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy with that now. Right, but it's quite dull here in Wales today. It's very, very cloudy, very, very overcast, not very windy, but it's picking up. It's picking up. We're 600 revs. Let's crack on. Ensure everything's locked. I'm going to do push step, okay? I'm sure that's actually removing what I want. In fact, we are going to go back to the 1/2 inch bolt gouge. We are going to go back to the 1/2 inch because the 3/8 is not beefy enough to cut through this because it's quite. Hi there, buddy. Welcome to the live. Yeah, it's not. Even though it's quite aggressive, it will remove quite a lot of timber. Okay, the 1/2 inch bolt gouge. And because it's so dense, it's so hard. You know, I want it to. I want it to be able to, as I come round, I want to remove at least a couple of millimetres here, so I'm going to remove this bark. Then we're going to put a tenon on the bottom, so it's like a disc in the wood, foot, so it can sit down once we've created it, and then basically we're going to flip it round and we're going to hollow it out, okay? We will hollow it out. So, should we speed up? 700, okay? 1 from 5 to 7, okay? See? Why we wear these? Need to retighten that. Okay, let's have another look at that. That was definitely very, very, very dangerous. So, let's get that back on there. Oh, that was tight. Yes, there we are. Now it's not coming off. No, it's definitely not coming off now. Right. See, we're coming around this bark now, okay? We removed most of it, okay? And I'm a little bit mindful of this little crack here, okay? It's a tiny little crack. So when we flip it round, we can take that face down and remove the crack. So what I want to do now is I want to clean that face up, clean that up, put the tenon on, flip it round. Rami, welcome back, buddy. Did you see that come off then? Always got to be careful. Always got to be careful. Okay, we've got the shape we want. Okay, we've got that form. Okay, so have you got a new account, Rami? Once I read that comment, I thought that's definitely you. I was on this morning actually at Army, and we created a piece of spalted beech platter, a serving dish, you know, 8x2, quite a nice piece, quite a nice piece. Similar to the platter we did the other day. The platter, see, every piece is always different, okay? No two pieces are the same, okay? They always have a different grain pattern, okay? They always have a different colour variation, and as more of a serving platter. So, and all the pieces I create, basically, you can use them for food because they're actually finished with food safe products. So food bowls, platters, that kind of thing, really. That kind of thing. And a lot of pieces I make, they go all over the place. They go to neighbours, they go to friends, they go to family, all over the show. Right, definitely, yeah. In fact, is this ash? Could be beech. Could be beech. Both hardwoods. But then it could be dieback because the colour variation. Tends to get more dieback ash and ash around here than beech. But it's yeah, dieback ash is a type of disease which hits our trees, and yeah, and they chop them down very quickly before they actually become a serious problem because they affect other trees. No, not a new account, using my handle for some reason. Bowls are beautiful. Yes, they certainly are. Bowls are beautiful and they're practical. So 40 likes already. Thank you very much. Can you blow that candle? I better. See better now with that glare. What we'll do, we'll turn that off. That's better. That's better. What I want to be mindful of is that I don't want to remove the bark and then basically keep going at it and then realising I've removed the bark and all I'm doing is removing timber, okay? Then we have nothing left of the bowl. A tiny bit here. This is a very light patch here. And I just want to remove this now. And I like the shape of it, okay? I do like the shape of it. And it's not until once we finish hollowing it and sanding it, then you put the finish on and then it really glows. It really stands out. But yeah, if you're interested in following a journey, like seeing how things are made, etc., don't forget to support the channel. It is free. It is free. $900 grams. Okay, we're going to swap from the bowl gouge, okay? Thank you very much, Rami. Appreciate that, buddy. And into this one, okay? Looks a bit like a... Very different, okay? Very, very different. That's got a profile there. This one's got one here, okay? And what this one's good for is scraping. It's called bowl scraper, okay? So you want to bring the tool rest up, okay? Above, just a little bit above halfway. And then what I want to do is I want to raise the scraper. So I'm coming into it like this, okay? And it gives it an opportunity then for the bevel to catch the wood. And like I said, we scrape. It'll remove any tool marks. Any tool marks. By the way, Army, I was on this morning and I got absolutely trolled, okay? Got absolutely trolled this morning. And they won't be coming back, put it one way. I found a way to stop the trolls. So, yeah, it happens. Does happen. So what I'm going to grab now is a piece of carbide, okay? Tungsten steel, okay? These tips, okay? The little square tips. And these can sharpen, okay? These will go blunt, okay? But these are cheap as chips to replace. The tips are anyway. A little tad loose. So let me just get that in there. Not loose anymore. Not loose anymore. Right, so we're going to create the tenon now, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to put it on the bottom, create a foot, and then blend it back in, okay? In fact, while I'm actually on it, I'm going to clean that up. Oh. What a noise. Yeah, if you're enjoying the live, don't forget to show me some love. Hit that like button. Helps me out big time. Helps me out with this YouTube algorithm thing. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. So we've got our shape, okay, we've got our foot, we've got our tenon, okay, we've got our foot. Okay. We will remove that tenon and it'll sit on the foot, okay? So, got our shape, okay? What we class as our form, our bowl shape, okay? So, thank you very much, 52 likes. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Put it in the jaws. One thing I learned in my lesson this morning, don't come on too early and say nobody's awake. So, Bowl gouges over there. Locked? Yes. Take those screws out. And it's only been held in by 1-inch screws, okay? But you must ensure that basically you use steel screws, okay? Using things like drywall screws and stuff, they snap. So always ensure you got strong screws, okay? Because if you don't, and they break while you're wood turning, it can be a real big problem. A real big problem. Every single time, use brand new screws. Every single time. Right. Okay, checking that tenon. It's nice and comfortable in the jaws. Not going anywhere. First things first, I'm going to clean the face up, okay? So you want a nice flat surface, okay? Nice flat surface. And there's 2 ways you can do that. Carbide, right? Carbide will do it as well. Get some speed. Carbide will do it. See that? That's got a clean face already, okay? Or we can use a bowl gouge. A bowl gouge is a different technique, okay? A different way of cutting. See, because I was coming onto it like this before, okay? Like horizontal at it, okay? Bowl gouges on the side, okay? Like I said, I can cut on both sides of that now. That's definitely got a clean face, okay? Definitely got a clean face. With 400 people in the room. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Okay, definitely got a clean face now, okay? What I quite like about this, it's got a bit of a stripe, okay? So we've got this stripe down here, and then we've got the heart of the wood, okay? The white. So, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. Let's hold this thing out, okay? Let's hold this thing out. So, see with me, when I start wood turning, I never ever produce 2 things the same. You get production turners who actually can produce the same thing over and over and over again, identical to the last. I mean, I prefer to be different. I prefer to just be unique and just create different things. So when every single piece that I've created, I look back on it and I've learned something from it. And every piece always teaches me something all the time. But not that's better tool placement, tool handling, that kind of stuff really. So we're at 900 revs, okay? So when we come in, see the flute? Pointing away from me, okay? And you just hollow it, okay? Swinging it, okay? Now these have got to be kept extremely sharp at all times, okay? All times. I would never ever try and wood turn with blunt tools. It's very, very dangerous. Okay. clean that rim up, okay? Okay. What I'm trying to do is thin the walls out basically. So I've got an even proportion from wall thickness to the outside. So they actually run in parallel to each other. So one thing that I've learned over the last 18 months of woodturning is never rush. Never ever rush. Because when you start rushing and start kind of like going too quick above yourself really, you'll start making mistakes. And when you start making mistakes, then you're just going to ruin the piece basically. So yeah, when doing anything really with any woodwork, I suppose, not just woodturning, but just take your time. Just take your time. I was going to say, it's not a race. It's not a race at all. And what I'm looking for, you can see the rim is the same diameter all the way around, okay? And if that tenon isn't dead center on that piece, you know, a thick rim, and as it turns, as you hollow it out, it'll go from thick to very thin, okay? Very thin. So you need it dead center, so you end up with that even rim all the way around. Okay. Kind of looking at this thinking, I think it's beech, not ash. Okay, we want to clean the base up, clean these walls up, sort that rim out, and then we'll give it a sand. Okay, we'll give it a sand. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go from bowl gouge and I go back to carbide, but I'm not using a square one this time, I'm using a round one, okay? Becoming round, square, and IRG, how are you, buddy? I'm going to come in and I'm going to clean these walls up. Are you on this morning, RG? Let me know, buddy. If you just come on now. Okay, quite a bit of that wall thickness. Yeah, I was going to say, I had somebody in my life, buddy, and Well, I put them on they're blocked. They're blocked. Trying to troll me, man. Really trolling me. So, yeah, and if anybody's got any wise ideas about trying to leave any really nasty comments, well, they don't get to watch anymore. Does happen, but rise above it. We're nearly at 3,500 by the way, RG. Nearly. Right, we're 900 revs here. 900 revs. Ooh, nearly removed. Just got that raised area. Just in the centre here. Just working up and back down. Okay, so we're just going to remove that little area there. Sand it. And we'll put a finish on it. 70 likes. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. I think once we hit 100, YouTube tends to promote it more. So yeah, it's enjoying watching Woodturning, enjoying the live. Don't forget to drop me a like. It really does help me out. See, I might not be adding any pressure now. Some very light cuts, because all I'm trying to do is just remove that area there in the centre. I was going through some of my stock the other day, and I've only found some pen blanks, which I've seen that I've got some acrylic ones and I've got some wooden ones as well. So, so I thought, right, no time like the present. Let's get on this. Let's try and find a pen mandrel. So I need a Morse tape or 2 pen mandrel. I'm trying to the pen. Looks fiddly. Does look fiddly, but I'm up for the challenge. Hi there, Mia. Welcome to the live. Yeah. There we are. Mask. Yeah, quite happy with that. There's definitely Beech. Nearly 3,000. Did that in 9 weeks. So, not bad. Now I'm trying to do it in the hundreds. So we've gone from 0 to 50 to 100, then shot up to 1,000, shot up to 2,000, shot up to 3,000. Now I'm going in proportions. So 3,500 is the next one. I'm trying to get to it. Right, I use 3 types of sandpaper for those new people watching me. I use 3 types of sandpaper, okay, to make this incredibly smooth. Use an 80 grit, okay, I know this is backwards, but 80, okay. Then we jump up to 120 grit, which will make it really smooth. And then we jump up to 240 grit, okay, which makes it baby smooth, okay, baby smooth. And then once we've done that, clean it off and add a finish. But quite like this. If you measure it, it's not massive. 6 inches, very small. 6 inches by 3 inches. Not bad. Not bad. Thank you very much for the congratulations, by the way. Really kind of you. Thank you. £80, okay? Just spinning. Just double checking for me. No, just a figment of my imagination. Oh, there's a lump in there, but there's not. Is it 120 now? 75. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Last grip, 240, okay? Baby smooth. That's baby smooth. Right. Turn that speed right down. No, I haven't, but I'm going to try ebonizing on some of my oak because I've heard you can make it as well. So that ebonizing oil, yeah, definitely want to get into it because I like the effect it gives, brings the grain out and stuff. So definitely want to give it a go. Definitely. So what I'm using here is Furniture Clinic Pure Tongue Oil. Great stuff. It's cheaper than walnut oil. Put it one way, walnut oil is very expensive. Around here it is anyway. You can get very, very pricey. And we can only get it online. So we don't have any wood turning stores local to where I am. Because I'm probably 3 hours away from the closest city. So based here in mid Wales. So quite a distance away. Not to any major city anyway. Yeah. What we're going to do actually while I'm on it, I was going to use some isopropyl to clean it up, but should have done that really. There we are. Where are we? In an hour. Wow. I've heard ebonizing oak looks great. And I've seen it as well. It looks amazing. You really pull that grain out. Stain it. I want to try things like scorching. I want to try that. Lots of things I haven't tried, you know. But I'm willing to give it a go. And I think it's just a process with wood turning. It's just going to take me a little bit of time. I'd like to try lots of different things. I'd like to try and do the epoxy. Just to see how I get on with it. If I don't like it, I probably won't turn it again. But depends on what's available. Beautiful. Definitely peach. Definitely peach. Beautiful piece. Beautiful piece. So you've got that nice flowing curve, see? I used to make dog bowls where I just go straight to the bottom. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. A bit smaller than what I'm used to turning, but I wanted to just, this is where I started, okay? 18 months ago, making stuff like this with carbide, and as you can see, it just goes straight to the bottom. Okay, there's no curve, it's just a flat bottom. And then I wanted to try and work on my form, and I changed my form. Lots of practice, and then start making little vases. You know, quite nice, isn't it? So making little vases, and then from there, I changed my form again. And started working on the natural curve, and I went from sycamore to beech, alder. Alder's not great, but it's for a hardwood alder. It's very soft and bruises really easily, and it can break very easily. Because I did make a bowl of alder. I was taking it off the lathe and dropped it on a concrete floor, smashed the side of it, and wasted the bowl. So yeah, I've gone from here to here. To here, to, not going to rate that one, to here. So, as you can see, it's just, every piece just teaches me something all the time, and that's why I want to try something new, try something different, And but yeah, one of my favourite things to turn is bowls. You know, turning lovely decorative bowls. Could be used as a cereal bowl, could be used as a key bowl, use it for noodles, it's food safe, use it for all sorts. But like I said, these are the type of things I like to make, practical little bowls. Not so little, but yeah, every piece is always different. And basically it's for 18 months on, nearly just under 2 years on, so I call it 19 months on. It's been a really enjoyable experience. And I think it just kind of like, it's nice to take a piece of wood and turn it into something different, something practical. And but yeah, sometimes I can just get like totally overwhelmed by it, and then I get frustrated by it, and that's the time to walk away, then come back and then have a look at it. But yeah, when it comes down to making bowls and stuff, I couldn't get the technique. I just could not get the technique, and I kept getting it wrong and getting it wrong and getting it wrong. Because what I was doing, if I can show you, what I was doing, let me just lock that in there. What I was doing got wrong for quite a long time was 3/8. I was coming in, instead of doing this and swinging with it, what I was doing is I was coming in and following the wall down into the centre. And every time I used to hit that 45-degree curve in here, I was getting a catch every single time I hit here. And yeah, I was messing stuff up all the time, and I just could not get it right. And somebody pointed out to me the opposite way of wood turning, and to make things a little bit easier with that. And since I've done that, I don't get the catches anymore. So but it's all a learning process. It's all a learning process. And yeah, if Reese is out there, man, I was going to say thank you very much, Reese, for pointing it out. Do appreciate it. And yeah, it's just trial and error with everything. I'll probably make mistakes when I'm trying to turn my first pen, when I turn my first ring, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a process, you know. It's that process of trying new things, challenging myself as a wood turner. And but yeah, and if people want to see me progress, get better, get smarter at it, you know, turn different stuff, I've got a pressure pot to do some epoxy. So, and again, I may make mistakes there, but it's just trial and error, trying to learn as much as possible, trying to get better and better and better at it. I'm going to make mistakes. I am going to make mistakes. But it's all part of learning. It's all part of learning. And if you want to join me on that journey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It does mean an awful lot to me. And yeah, you'll be notified every time I come online, and you might see me turn something else or make something else or mess up or part of the journey. Part of the journey. So, but yeah, I'm going to have a cup of tea. I need to clean my workshop. It looks like a amplification here. And hopefully I should be back before you know it, trying to turn something else, learn something else. And hopefully you've enjoyed the live. If you have, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And thank you, RG. I've got another RG. Enjoy the journey. Love the journey. Love it. It can be frustrating. It can be frustrating. But I like the challenge. I like the challenge of being able to learn more about this stuff. And it's like riding a bike. You know, we have to fall off. You know, we have to fall off that bike once or twice to be able to get pedaling. You know, get pedaling. And same thing with anything. Same with anything. Riding a bike, wood turning, swimming. You know, yeah, we start with our armbands on, don't we? How I started, but not swimming, but armbands as in wood turning kind of thing. Shemai, diolch yn fawr. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm just kind of at that 18 months, just under 2 year mark now. And believe you me, I've learned an awful lot. I don't think I've got my first piece in here anymore. My first piece was tiny, but I always keep it because it just reminds me where it all began. Oh, I've got it in here. Don't, oh, hang on, is it? Is that it? I have got it. I have got it. This is where it began, okay? This little thing. Yeah, just started from this to this. And yeah, I just want to improve, I want to get better. But if people want to know where all my stuff goes, it goes to friends, it goes to family, it goes to neighbours, it goes to charities, it goes to all over the show. But yeah, maybe next year I may start kind of like putting it out there if people are interested. But for now, it's just part of this. Got to get better. Got to get better. Got to get good at it. So a lot of people will say, "Oh, Dan, your work's amazing. This, that, and the other." And then every piece I can look at that and think, "I wish I'd done better. I wish I could have done something better to it or improved it in some way." And that's why I've got so many bowls, so many different pieces, from vases to platters to vases is one of the things that challenged me big time. That's when I got the force and the drill bit, Jacob's chalk, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's the form with a vase that I find challenging. Getting that shape, you know, that's what really kind of pushes me. And I did one not long ago, and yeah, it is. Look at the word chocolate, and I know I can do better. And I think it's just with each piece, try again. So, but yeah, if you want to join me on my journey, I'm gonna say you're more than welcome to do so. It is free. See, bars, you know, getting better at them and getting better. It's just taking time. So, but yeah, if you enjoyed my Woodturning live, don't forget to drop me a like. Don't forget to drop me a comment. Don't forget to support the channel. It is free. I'm off for a cup of tea, and hopefully I shall see you all very, very soon. But diolch for watching, and hopefully I shall see you all back in the next one. You stay safe, look after yourselves, stay warm, subscribe, and hopefully I shall see you in the next live or the next pre-recorded one. But thank you for watching, and hopefully I shall see you all again soon. Take care, YouTube. Bye for now.